It is 5:02 and I will call the meeting of the International Falls Economic Development Authority to order. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the EDA at this time? So next we have the approval of the minutes.
Move approval of the minutes, Mr. Chair.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Question?
Aye.
How about yes? Financial reports, we have the July 31st, 2016. We have cash in the bank of $150,011.42. Money at Bremer, $47,391.32. Notes receivable of $69,443.57 for total assets of $266,846.30. Our total liabilities at this point are $49,831 for total fund equity of total liabilities and equity of $266,846.36.
I'm confused.
How so?
Well, the deferred revenue is supposed to be equal to the notes receivable, and it's not. But balance sheet balances, so, but I that was usually, unless something's changed, I'm not aware of it.
See that smile?
I was just going to make a comment about maintaining your CPA.
Well, and you are the treasurer.
Oh, I am. Okay, well, okay, I'll look into that.
Well, thank you.
I just noted. Okay, so what I would recommend for the EDA board is to not approve this until we resolve that issue, that question. I'm sure it's nothing earth-shattering or anything.
So we have a motion to not approve.
Well, I don't know if we need a motion to not approve. I'm just making a recommend. You don't need a motion if you're not going to not do something, right?
Make a motion to
Motion
table.
to refer it to the treasurer for
Further. Okay. All right. I just became the treasurer. I haven't been the treasurer.
For 6 months.
Well,
Actually 7 now. So we have a motion to have the treasurer take a look. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Question?
Aye.
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 I'll vote yes. The treasurer, if you could look into that, that would be great before our next meeting. I would appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. All right, next we have the 2017 budget approval process. City Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Given where we're at, I think what we were envisioning doing is having a discussion with the council at the same time that we do it with other department heads at the meeting on August 30th. A draft budget for the Budget and Finance Committee members to look at, rather than setting a special meeting for September 5th. So I think we want to put a draft together from a staff standpoint about what we're looking at, and have some discussion with you about, after talking with the advisory board, and then possibly having a special meeting at the meeting on September 6th after the regular council meeting, that you as an EDA can review what's being proposed, make any revisions that you want to make, and then we're envisioning that the whole budget would be approved by the City Council at the meeting on the second meeting in September, which I believe is the 16th, 19th actually, because the preliminary budget and levy needs to be the county auditor before the end of September. So we're just thinking that we'll have an informal conversation at a Budget and Finance Committee meeting on August 30th. A regular, the board, I presume, should schedule a special meeting for September 6th to talk about it after the council meeting and just approve the preliminary budget for submittal to the city council and finance.
You're saying on September 6th, we should have a special EDA meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
I would move that we would have a special EDA meeting on Tuesday, 6th, following the regular city council meeting.
Motion for a special meeting on September 6th. We have a second? Second. Okay. Any discussion? Question?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll vote yes. Anything else that, about the budget that we need to be aware of? No?
Not at this point, no.
All right, discuss the process to update the 2014-2015 Strategic Action Plan.
I just thought it was appropriate for the group to have a conversation, just very briefly, and from a staff standpoint, the advisory board in the past has reviewed the strategic action plan, made recommendations to the full EDA about what should be in the next 2-year action plan, and then the EDA has approved that action plan with any revisions you thought were appropriate. Right now, because of where the Voyage Forward program is at, and they were just assembling their Destiny drivers and some of that information this spring, that and the fact that we had several members of the advisory board that had to resign at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. So that process has been delayed and put on hold. And I think from my standpoint, we're envisioning that at the next EDA advisory board, we'll have this on the agenda again to look at and let them have the first stab again, like we have historically, at preparing potential action steps in the strategic action plan. Given where we're at in the year, it would probably be more appropriate for it to be effective for 17 and 18, because we're halfway through 16 already. But I wanted to make sure that the EDA committee were okay with that process. And obviously, if you're not, if there's something else that you want to do,
Well, and I think that part of I mean, you even brought it up about the Voyage Forward. That was the big conversation, is to try to incorporate the Destiny drivers into it, but we haven't had I don't think we've had a quorum of the advisory board since then. We had a quorum pretty much right up till the point that we had the Destiny drivers laid out, and then we haven't had a quorum since. So I do think that the Tuesday meeting being a little bit later will help. Or the second Tuesday will help. So as that gets more incorporated, I think that'll help out a lot. Anything else about the strategic action plan?
I would just make the point that not all of the Voyage Forward recommendations apply to our EDA. I mean, that, because that government, it looks at the whole county, and there's a whole range of issues that they're looking at. So it would be a matter of selecting which ones would be appropriate for us. But that's part of what they would look at least at first blush, and then make recommendations.
Any other business? Mr. Jackson, Commissioner Jackson, have you had a chance to talk to Bruce Carmen?
No, I have not. I've been, I will be calling and setting up a visit with Bruce Carmen shortly. I just haven't done it. I've been doing taxes, and I was on vacation for 2 weeks, etc. So I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. And so, I mean, I'm busy with garbage, a lot of other things in life too. So what I will do is I will make sure that we have contact with him this month, and my goal is to have a visit up here with him. And he wanted to come too, but
Just be advised that we have changed the advisory board
To a different time.
to Tuesday, or the second Tuesday rather than the third
I'm
at
aware of
8
that,
o'clock.
thank you. 8
All right.
o'clock in the morning?
8 o'clock is now the
Well,
time.
that's more civilized.
Absolutely. Any other business to come before the EDA? Hearing none, we will adjourn.